Hello, time travelers. Welcome to V.I.C.E. I am Tanya, aka TanyaLashea, and I'll be your GM for this short campaign where we play a wild game of space adventure and intrigue in the far, far future. Players are CaptainZiggy, NotQuiteNormal, and Kepeski, and you follow this crew of paranormal investigators as they travel a solar system called Syndara in a high-octane fantasy sci-fi where time is money and life is short. Enjoy the journey. Okay, so welcome back to the world of V.I.C.E. Last we met everybody in our crew, you guys were finishing up a job after hunting down this poor, desolate farmer who committed the biggest crime anyone can commit, which is illegally engaging in chronoexistence. He took the remaining life of his mother that was given to him, but it was an illegal transaction. And unfortunately, he did have to pay the price. However, as his last request, he did ask for his handmade straw hat to be bequeathed to his only daughter. So, you guys completed your mission, kind of hit a couple of gift shops on the way back to your ship. You were eventually beamed up aboard this massive starship called the Juggernaut, and you had just entered the bridge to meet Captain Jaw Crystal Sugar. So let's have our Vice crew introduce themselves.
Hello, I am Kepeski. I will be playing Avery Smith, a warrior official.
Hello, I'm NotQuiteNormal. I will be playing Raiko Yagin, the psychic politician.
Hello, my name is Ziggy, and I'll be playing Sam Starlight, the expert merchant.
And I'm your GM, TanyaLashea. So let's get back into this game. Ja had just turned around to see you all coming in from your successful mission, and she was just about to finally give you payment. You guys have been on this job for quite some time, a little bit longer than you usually would do a job. You really had to hunt this guy down, and right now, all you guys probably want is some time off, put your feet up, a long shower. It's like one of those jobs where you're almost done and you're like, okay, I don't really want to talk. I just want to get paid so I can go home. But you can kind of tell as she turns around. So this captain is a very stern woman. She's quite tall, about 6 foot, very athletic. She's wearing one of those like really form-fitting black high top collared shirts with really well, tailored pants and black shoes. She looks put together. She has like a darker skin. She's a darker skinned black woman, and she has braids that go up into a very tight, neat bun. And so she kind of whips around to look at all of you as you come in. She is straight as a board with her back, straight up, and she kind of looks at all of you. Well, welcome back. I'm assuming you're wanting payment.
That would be the idea.
Yes, the sooner the better. Better.
Money.
No skimping out on us.
Don't be ridiculous. Everyone gets paid their fair share. I have never shortchanged my good workers. And as usual, you all did great work. She kind of puts up a little Palm Pilot that you all also have, but it's a little bit bigger. She just boop, 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 clicks some buttons, and you all get like a chime that shows you that credits have gone into your account. You all receive a portion of the full amount, which is 6,300 credits, which means you each only get 2,100 credits. but it goes into your accounts immediately. And as she does this, she kind of puts the palm violet back away. She goes, "See? Honest day's work."
Almost a week's work, you mean?
Yeah, I did notice you guys took a little bit of time on this one, which is unfortunate. The old Tarian has been just really busy lately, kind of running Vice teams ragged. And I know usually you guys would take a break, but unfortunately, I have some important business that needs to be taken care of right away. She kind of puts up a screen behind her, and it shows you, you essentially your next mission, which shows you the date that you need to move out, and it's today.
This
Is
seems a
it
bit
like
rushed.
Well, as I said, didn't expect you all to take quite as long with this mission, and I would, grab another team, but we are just really at our max right now. Couldn't find another single soul. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, there are really not enough hard workers in this community.
As you say that, one of the crew members that's sitting at one of the terminals in the bridge just kind of slowly turns to look at you.
I turn and look at them back.
Now, everyone, relax. Let's all be friends, or at least professionals. This is a time-sensitive job. It won't take you as long, hopefully. A quick procurement, a quick investigation. We already have the person pinned down. You should be in and out. And it pays pretty well. And she shows you the screen again, and it does pay 15,000 credits.
Not bad, not bad.
What kind of target is it this time?
Well, before we get into that, let's get into the urgency here a little bit more. She kind of looks over to somebody else. There's another young man, a little bit younger than you guys are used to seeing. He's clearly a bit of a new recruit, but he stands up to give her what basically looks like a tablet. Before you actually go to do this job, there is a small amount of prep. I need you to procure two things, which we've already gotten for you, and one that will take some of your particular skill set. And she looks directly at you, Raiko.
Oh, really?
She taps the tablet, and you receive a basically like an email or a notification on your pilot, or your Palm Pilot, essentially. And it shows you that you need to procure 3 items. Let's see. So the first item is called an Icarus harness. It is a pretty nice armor. The second item seems to be a charged Type B power cell. And then the third item just says informant with no other details. So when you open up the little note, you can click on each of the things, each of the items, and it'll show you a little bit more detail about them. So as you click on the Icarus armor, it tells you that it is essentially like a combat armor, and it uses Type A power cells. It costs about $8,000. It tells you the tech level. It tells you how to use it, et cetera, et cetera. It gives you some detail. click on the second one, which is a charged type B power cell. Again, it shows you like what it's used for, usually for like vehicles and heavy gear. And it requires like 30 minutes to charge. And actually, no, it requires 24 hours to charge. And so it tells you information about that. Then you click Informant. And let me get a wisdom roll from you.
Alright then. Let's pray the dice roller is favorable. D20, right?
2d6.
2d6, that's right.
And then while Raiko is kind of reviewing this, Avery and Sam, you both also get that same notification, and you can click on the same ones as well. However, you also get like another notification that gives you like the breakdown of this job. So essentially, you need to procure these 3 items, and then you need to go to another location to complete this job, and then you need to come back to the captain. But you will get 15,000, and you guys see that it's not 15,000 total; it's 15,000 per person, which is at this point one of the highest paid jobs you guys have taken. Very interesting.
Oh,
It's a lot of money for us to be thieves.
We are going to die.
what is nonsense? This is a simple pick up item and sell and drop off. Boss, this is exactly my forte.
You are stupid, Sam.
Listen, you just don't have the experience within the back market. Markets, that's where the money is.
Oh, so
I'm
funny.
going to scalp you.
Jealous of my brains, you see.
Raiko, what did you get?
A 1 and a 4.
Okay. Well, with that 4, so wait, you got a 1 and a 4? Jesus.
You said 2d6, yeah. My wisdom is 0, so.
Team Broken Bones strikes again.
My gosh. Let's see. Okay. You click on this title that says Informant, and it simply kind of gives you a weird description. And this is essentially what the description says. It just says, was in box, now in satchel, do not feed, do not open. And that's it.
Interesting. I read it out loud, but while I'm reading it out loud, I want to just take a peek inside the captain's mind to see what she's thinking.
Interesting. Does she have anything? Let me look at her. No, she doesn't, but I'm sure she's not stupid. She would have someone in her corner making sure that type of nonsense doesn't happen. Let me see here. So you're just trying to push inside her mind a little bit?
Yeah, just some light reading.
Flipping through a magazine at the dentist's office with someone's brain.
As you do that, I am going to roll for somebody else in the room. and we'll see what this person gets.
The real question is whether that person's on her payroll or mine.
On
I
hers.
don't think you make enough money.
Probably on hers.
I
And-
have my methods. Thank you very much.
The only person on your payroll is Avery, who's just willing to stab whoever you say.
I do like my hot pot.
Yeah, do you even get paid for that? Okay, so this person is going to essentially try to detect your use. Let's. I think it's just the verses.
I mean, oh, wait, what do I roll? To the sheet to find out.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Mental
yeah.
state.
So it depends on. So it would be a mental saving throw to resist, but she's not going to do that because she's not. I guess she could do that, but I don't think that's her personality. She would just have someone always near her to catch people doing it.
I'm sure I've been caught doing it before. I'm sure they've missed me a few times.
Perhaps, yeah, probably. So I think this time, yeah. So we'll have that be that. Okay, so you go ahead and do a mental saving throw, and then I'll have this person do a mental saving throw, and we'll see which one.
To know how to do a mental saving throw.
That's
Wait. What was it?
D20s.
Ooh, D20.
Yes, because your
Upgrade.
favorite throw should be for mental. Should be 14 or 15 or 16.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 4 out of 12.
Oh my gosh!
Like I said, some light reading. I got a little distracted halfway down the middle.
You attempt to just lightly skim the top of her mind. This person got an 11, and you kind of get like a light like buffer, and you don't see anything change in her face, but she just kind of is just waiting for you guys to acknowledge that you're going to take the job and ask any questions. She's just standing there politely waiting. Well, get to it.
Yes, sir.
You all have your mission. So essentially what is going to happen is you need to go to where you need to pick up the items, and it says on your sheet that you need to pick up at a space station in the Red Belt. So usually what happens is you'll go to like the navigator, you'll let them know where you need to go, and they will either give you a ship if you're not close. You guys are close to the Red Belt, so you shouldn't need a ship, or they will beam you to the correct terminal. And the navigator is in a different location on the ship. So you can take a moment to do something in between leaving the bridge and going to the navigator.
Do I have time to take a quick shower?
That was my thing.
I'm going to say no.
Can I do it anyway?
I will say you guys have enough time to, as you're walking to the navigators and the navigator is putting it in for you, making some checks or checking or searching something online that you might want to know before you leave.
Okay, my term. If I can't get a proper shower, can I just stick my head under a sink for a little bit?
Sure. We'll let you do that.
Just get some of the dust out.
Where in the Red Belt are we going anyway?
You'll need to go to the navigator to figure that out.
All right, we'll head to the navigator.
Yeah,
After I
let's
stick
hope
my
it's
head
not
in the
too-
sink.
Yeah, let's hope it's not too close to my old hometown.
Mine as well. Ooh, I would like to make a quick stop by the comms station just to check in, see what's come through.
Okay. Anyone else wanting to do anything?
I suppose Sam would probably check like one of his own personal devices, like check the stocks and stuff for his side gig.
Okay.
Get a granola bar.
Okay. So it sounds like Sam wants to go to wherever you're holding your stock on the ship. Raiko wants to quickly hop into comms, and then Avery wants to stop by the mess hall. So it sounds like you guys are splitting up.
Saying split up triggers the D&D never do that response, even though we're in what should by all means be a safe location.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
Great.
a hangry Avery is a stabby Avery.
Okay.
Raiko doesn't want to be around you all anyway, so.
Then we will start at the bottom with Sam. Sam, let's say the materials that you hold are in a specific like area in the bottom dredges of the ship, and it takes you a couple of minutes to get down there and a couple of minutes to get back up. But you should be able to go and check it out. Is there anyone else that would be in that area?
If Sam has full control, probably not. It would be almost like a little bit of a secret here towards most of the crew, since, well, not every single item down there isn't exactly, how do I put this, legal?
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you get down there and it is fairly empty, except for there is a one of the crew members. It looks like an engineer. They are coming from the like the engines area, which is on the other side of where like some of the warehouse items are. But they're not really paying attention to you, and they're just walking back up one of the flights of stairs.
I try to sneak up until my area where I usually put my wares a little bit more quietly so that engineer doesn't hear me.
Mm-hmm. Do you have sneak?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. I am going to. He's not necessarily really even paying attention, so I don't think it would be too big of you being found out that much. But I am still going to. Let me see. Yeah, let me have you roll like an evasion saving throw.
Let's see, I got a 15 for that, so. What do I roll? D20?
A 1d20. Yeah. And you have to beat an 11. Oh, I think it's the exclamation mark. Okay.
Folks
Yeah,
at home, I rolled a 12, so it was right down to the wire.
You quietly slip into like wherever your area is as this person continues to walk up the stairs. And they don't seem to notice you.
Thank goodness.
Are you looking for anything in particular in your stash?
Yeah, I would say Sam, in one of his pocket things, would try to look up what is exactly in demand and around some of the people that go around the red belt of like what kind
Hmm.
of people, both official and unofficial, would want to buy, so he can put that in his pockets and try to sell it on the street.
Okay. Interesting. I am going to say the red belt right now, as it's still being constructed, is kind of a it's kind of a mix, but depending on what station you go to. So you won't really know exactly which station you're going to until you get to the navigator. But you do know that it has probably early industry, like steam power, gunpowder, firearms, and things like that. Like early technology for some of the less fancy stations, and then for some of the nice stations, they're really into like antique tech because they're really high tech. They're like 21st century, and like post tech. So like really modern, streamlined technology. And so they really enjoy just spending money on like artsy things. So anything that they think is really, really old or antique, they would pay high dollar for.
Hmm. There's a coin
Or
flip on this. Or?
or even things that are unusual for them to get their hands on, like some of the kitschy items you guys got from your last mission.
I think I'll probably grab some of the more interesting looking old tech and a few of the autograph cards from our last mission.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to grab those, pocket them, or put them in a satchel, however you do. And you can meet back up with Avery and Ryko while they're doing their activities. So let's move to Ryko. Ryko, you make your way to the comms area, which is not in the opposite direction. It's on a different floor. So you have to take the elevator up. I'm going to say up. Yeah, you take the elevator up, but it takes a couple of seconds to get up there. And you go into the comms office where there are a couple of people. Some of them are talking, some of them are just typing. I'm assuming you can either just grab a random person or you can grab someone you think you might know.
I'll
There are
move
like,
over to someone I know.
okay, there's like, I'm going to say there's like 7 people in here and some of them are kind of working. Uh, we'll say there is a frizzy, red-haired woman. She has freckles. She's like a little heavy set, and she is wearing a one like an engineer suit essentially. That's like light blue, and it has her name on it, and it just says Vera. And
Um,
she's on the phone currently, but she sees you out of the corner of her eye, and she kind of gives you like a she puts up her hand and her one finger to give you just like a 1 second while she's like on the phone. And she's like, yeah, no, I heard you, but the answer I gave you was a no. So I'm not really sure what you're not understand. Okay. Okay. So your voice is loud right now. Do you hear yourself? And so she's she's having this conversation on the phone. And she's kind of giving you the one like a one finger of like just give me 1 second. And then she finishes that conversation up, turns off her comm unit and turns to you. Like, Ryko, honey, how are you doing?
up, Vera. I don't have much time.
Okay, what do you need?
Access your terminal.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go get coffee then. And she just gets up and sort of like organizes her hair as if that call just made her even more frizzled. And she walks past you and leaves her
Love you.
terminal
Bye.
and leaves her terminal open, um, unlocked for you. What are you looking for?
I'll sit down and I want the details. Just quick scan of what they've been sending out, mainly looking for anything juicy, then accessing maybe some of the more unused wavelengths for some more encrypted or illicit communications.
Okay. Number one, do you have any sneak?
Any sneak? Let's find out. I do not. But I do have program.
Okay, that's going to be for you accessing the system, but the
Yes.
sneak is going to be for how long you can sit there without someone noticing that you're at Vera's computer.
Mm.
So let's go ahead and so what was the first one you were looking for? What was the first thing
Just
you were
a
looking for?
quick general scan of the communications to see what kind of communications they've been sending back and forth.
Okay. This program you've entered before a couple of times, so I'm not gonna make the DC particularly high. Let's see. And there are a couple of people here, but there's definitely some snitches in here. So let me see how many people I want to be snitches who will notice you, and then we'll kind of do like you'll do a roll for your program, and then you'll do a roll for, and then I'll do a roll for someone noticing you, and then we'll go back and forth and see how far you can
Fortunately, I
get.
have talk as well if they try to come up on me.
Okay. That's totally fine. Let me find. You said you're using program.
Yes.
Do you have that up? What does it say? I'm looking.
For program, the skill, I have it as a 0. Let me quickly see if I can. What page was skills again?
Yeah, because you're not. You're already in her system. So I don't know.
I assume it would potentially just help me understand the quicker, easier way to find things.
Yeah, because I think the program skill. So you're familiar with common data formats and computer systems, so you can navigate it well. But maybe you're not rolling that to like find out information.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Where do you find the skills again?
On page. One. Focus list starts on 20. Program list is on page 8.
Page 8.
Operating on hacking, computing, and communications hardware. Roll it. To decrypt things, operate communication. So yeah, so that you're really just rolling that to operate it. So I guess I can use that for.
I could say also that I have like a system I've already installed into some of the terminals that I can access to quick access for the information I look for usually.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20, and we'll just make the DC 5. I feel like you've been in the system several times. So.
I come in here pretty frequently. I rolled a 15.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're able
Oh.
to tippity tap and navigate your way through the programs. What were you looking for again?
So to start off, just when I'm perusing the basic standard communications for anything that seems interesting that would stand out to me, yeah, whether it's personal entries or shippings that seem weird, just anything that seems a little subnormal.
You see two things quickly, and while you're reviewing that, I'm going to roll for you being noticed. Ooh. So you are looking through the data, and you find two things right away. The first thing is that you see a communication that came directly from a like a high-powered official from the Old Tarian. This is not normal. Usually they use like particularly the ones on top, they have assistants, they have third assistant. So you almost never see like their personal email. But this is their personal email, and it is the exact mission you guys have. So essentially, someone from the Old Tarian, some individual wants this mission prioritized, and that's one of the reasons why you guys had to go out again. So you see that communication. Second thing you see is a few more details about the last mission that seemed to have been connected to this mission. So basically you see two things. Number one, this isn't a new mission. This was received a week ago, and another team was assigned to it. And then you see that it came directly from a high-powered official from the Old Tarian.
Interesting. I will quickly save both of those to my personal compad.
Yeah, you're able to do that. It goes directly to it. It makes a little clink sound, and as it makes that sound, you feel a shadow over your left shoulder, as not another person that from the comms unit is there, but a hulking man who is wearing a different outfit. It's more of like a darker blue, and he has a pistol on his side, and he's just staring down at you with his arms crossed. This is clearly security.
I will beam into his head without talking and without really turning around. Something I can help you with?
He doesn't say anything. He's about to put his hands on you. And as this happens, we'll say Vera comes back in. She has a nice piping hot cup of coffee. And as she comes in and she sees the guy standing there, he's unfolding his arms. He's about to physically put his hands on you to pick you up out of this seat. As you are kind of like looking at him, she kind of walks through the door and she's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. No, he was just helping me with fixing a bug. Tech guy, You're an absolute saint, Ryko. Thank you. And she kind of winks at you.
No problem, Vera. Glad I was able to help out.
He sort of like refolds his arms and looks at both of you, but again, doesn't say anything. But he doesn't touch you. But he just doesn't leave.
Yeah. Well, if there's anything else I can help you with, let me know. I'll be back later. I have a mission to go on. Someone's time is running out. And I look over at the security guard.
He just stares you down. And Vera just goes, oh, that sounds fun. Have a good time. See you when you get back. And she kind of looks over at him. So do you work usually this shift or what? Trying to get his attention as he's not glaring at you. He doesn't seem to have an expression. He's just kind of keeping his eyes on you. Until Vera kind of like scoots next to him and starts like trying to chat him up. And he doesn't move, but he does change. His demeanor softens a little bit. She has, she has a lot of charisma and a bit of pull around here.
I will walk away.
You make your way out to meet the rest of your crew. And we'll go to Avery. Avery, you were going to the mess hall which at this point, I'm going to say it's like late evening, 6, 7 p.m. And the mess hall is open, but there's no meal. But they do have like food, easy to to go or to grab food. That's on a big metal desk, and there is a woman who is on the other side of the desk. I'm gonna say she is actually a artificial intelligence with a cybernetic chest cavity. So like from her clavicle down to her hip is metal, and she's sort of just sitting there with her hands clasped in front of her. And in front of her is, an assortment of granolas and apples and oranges and such.
I'm gonna snag an apple.
She sees you grab one, and she goes, "That's a very good choice. Yeah, those are good. They're red apples. We do also have green. If you'd like a green apple."
I'm just gonna back away.
she looks so starved for attention. She's like, "Please don't go." Okay. Enjoy your apple.
I'm just gonna slowly leave the mess hall and just pull the apple apart, like bare hands.
Perfect way to eat an apple.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to do before you head back to the group?
I don't know. Look out a window. Avery, if I can't have a proper shower, Avery's just gonna be a pouty rat.
Okay. Yes, you head back to the group, and you are all back together at navigation. Navigation is a bigger space. It's not as big as the bridge, but it's not as small as navigation. There are about 15 to 16 people in here, and they're actually moving about because the terminals are on tracks. So the terminals move circularly, in a circular pattern, almost as if there is a solar system outline on the ground. So the terminals move on tracks as people move, so that they can navigate different clusters and go to different places and things like that. It's very high tech and whatnot. So it's interesting. It's an interesting area, but people look very busy. They're talking to one another. They're moving around a lot. The place is a little bit packed, even though it's bigger. So what you guys usually would do in this instance is you would go find basically the main terminal. This is where you would go if you just need to let them know that you need to go somewhere. And this is a gentleman. It's the same person every time, and he is sitting in a terminal that doesn't move. It's permanent on one of the tracks, and he is sitting in front of a computer, and he kind of looks up at you guys as you come through the doors. What are you guys doing?
Eating an apple. Very loudly.
Okay. I'm assuming you're going up to this person to let them know you have a new mission.
I'm following.
When you forget you're muted for a second, I was all excited.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Real quick, before we go up to the desk, can I pull Avery aside for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, I pull him over to the side real quick. Avery, we'll be on
Yes.
this mission. Once we finish this mission off, how do you feel about taking a vacation with a friend of mine he's about to win a lottery for 5,000 credits?
And
Well, let's just say this is going to be a very final vacation. If you're up to the task.
I would be delighted.
Excellent. I'll talk to you later. I'll go
Okay.
over the navigation. A security guard does not throw me out of comms. Did we lose Tanya?
Oh no! First it was Craig.
She's just muted.
What happened?
You were muted.
What was the question?
Oh, there was no question. I just finished up my sci conversation with Avery.
Oh, okay. What are you doing now?
Probably heading over to the desk.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a gentleman sitting there. He has a kind of like stark white hair that's kind of like in like a pouffant, and he has really thin glasses. And he just kind of looks at all three of you. Mission?
Yes, in the red belt, or at least somewhere in the red belt.
He looks at you and looks down at his computer and just starts tapping. Name?
Well, Raiko. We've been here before. You should remember us by now.
He looks at you with a full deadpan face and then just looks back at his computer and types. Yes, here you are. You're going to Eurus for a pickup and then on to Nipsis for your final destination. He types, continues to type. You're ready, and he kind of shows you over to a beam pad.
Is there like a trash can that I can toss my apple core in first? Or am I taking that with me?
There is not. This place is squeaky clean, and there's actually no trash can.
I'm gonna try and sneak it into Sam's bag then.
Hey, that's my very important bag. Don't contaminate it with your food.
I don't think
I'm
you have sneak, but
Oh
you can
no,
try.
I'm just going to I'm not being very sneaky. I'm just putting it in there.
Okay.
I'm taking that right out and I'm throwing it in a random way.
Your crime,
The,
not mine.
the gentleman who's watching this, he kind of like looks at you three, and he's like, "You're ready."
But well, of
I
course,
go onto the bean pad.
I walk
Alright.
slowly over to the beam pad. Just draw it out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting right over there.
As you all three finally make your way on, you see that the gentleman is not looking in your direction. He is just tippity tapping on his computer, giving I'm super busy energy. And the beam engulfs all of you, and you all travel across the stars at the speed of sound and light, and you get to your destination. Okay, so you all arrive at the space station, and you were kind of shooed onto the platform, so you didn't get the name or like the level of fanciness that the space station was. But when you guys sat down, you can see it immediately. There are a bunch of people running around. The place smells like smoke and garbage. You are on the space station Cerberus. It's sort of like a huge gray on gray mechanical station that obviously used to be a very old ship. The technology here is a little bit older. The people here are of like the poor to low income kind of range. And as you enter into the section of this area where you are supposed to be supposedly looking for someone to like give you some direction, you don't really see a lot of people paying any attention to you. It looks like that this kind of like landing pad is just like in the middle of this kind of shopping center. You're a little confused. I'm gonna say that none of you have been on this particular station before, but you probably have heard of it because it's one of the poorer stations and one of the older stations. So there you all standing there. And I'll say that, like, as you're standing there, kind of like looking around, you do see that there's like a big old metal sign that says Cerberus Station. And then there are signs that like show you where to go. And one of the signs is, it just says like administration, essentially. And it goes in a direction.
Cerberus. Never had to come out here before.
Oh, Sam just looks at the words he yoinked, and he's realized he may have pulled the wrong stuff to sell to this station. Ugh.
Should have kept the apple core.
Who's gonna buy that?
Mm.
Starving peasants.
Ugh.
You all make your way throughout the crowd. On either side of where you guys are going, there's kind of like small stands of like food, or that's what they say that they're selling. Everything kind of looks like it's like a mash of some sort, or like a lumpy mash, and they're different colors, and they're just kind of picking it up with a spoon and smashing it onto people's plates or in a bun. Does not look very appetizing. But you guys finally get to the administration office, and there is a little kiosk there. There's no one there. There's not a person. There's a kiosk, and it does have, and on the kiosk, it basically has like logos of like different, or like different organizations, essentially. So it'll say like the vice growers, or the soldier ears, or something like that. It'll have like different names for different organizations. In yours, it clearly says Juggernaut, because that is the ship that you guys came from. So who's wanting to navigate this piece of technology?
Raiko.
See, Raiko wants to throw Sam on the under the bus and just tell him to do it.
Sam.
What? Why me?
Figure out where we're going next.
Amber very reluctantly does this.
Okay. It's essentially a big kiosk that is that's old school, but not that old. So it is a screen, and you have to tap the different things to get to the different sections. So there's a little the name of the Juggernaut, and so you have to tap that to get to the next thing. And when you do tap it, the screen kind of flickers. Clearly it's very old, but it does move on to another screen that shows you a terminal, and it asks you for a password.
Did any of you get told of a password?
Let me look through the data. I'll pull out my compad just to see if we've been given access to a password.
Try password.
Try swordfish.
You do see that navigation when they put you into the system, it updated all of your systems, and so you do see a password that needs to be input.
Oh, it is password.
Sam, you see it's just a bunch of like random letters, like a random password. You're able to input that, and a little screen pops up. And it basically asks you what you're there for. Are you there to like meet someone, pick up, or drop off? Gives you 3 options.
We're simply here for a pickup.
Do you say that out loud, or do you?
Yes.
you click. You click the button.
Yeah.
Okay. You click the button, and the little screen goes to another screen, and it says processing. So it's processing for a couple of moments, and then it goes to another screen that says, "Thank you, pickup ready," essentially. And so right behind this kiosk has been a little like concrete building that does have a door and looks like there should be somebody at like this little window. There just isn't anybody there. They just have the kiosk instead. But right behind it is a uh, like a gate, like a grated gate, and that you hear a long buzzer as that gate begins to open. And so you guys have done some of these pickups before. You know that you go into whatever area you need to go into. There'll be like a code that you have in your system to show you like what packages are yours, and you just pick them up and leave, and the gate will close behind you.
So yeah, I suppose we just us yoink the item from the opened gate.
Yeah, you have to walk in and find the item amongst other items. It's like a door.
Secret tunnel.
This
Not
grabs
so
it.
secret.
After you, ladies.
I'm okay. I'll go.
I mean, inside it looks very much like the outside. There's concrete on the pavement. The whole gate that is closing behind you also encloses this whole area. It's a fairly large area. It looks like an outdoor warehouse essentially, and there's no like top. Like there's a building right next to you guys, but there's no like top. Like you feel like if someone wanted to, they could probably just hop over the top, which does have like barbed wire, but it's basically looks like it's as if you had gone through to a parking lot that has a gate around it. And there are different types of packages, not just like boxes and barrels and bags, but there's also like machinery, like really odds and ends, and all of these things don't look like they're locked, but you guys know that it's difficult to get these items unless you're supposed to get these items. They are protected. So you guys just have to find your 3 items that you're picking up, which should be all together. But you're looking for um you know that you're looking for some sort of an armor, so that'll probably be in like a metal box. And then you're also looking for a power cell, which will probably also be in another metal box. And then you're looking for, I think Raiko found out that it's looking for like a bag. And so these 3 items should be all together, and they should have the name of Juggernaut on them. And so I'll just say you guys got like, it's like IKEA shelves. So you got like the location to where you need to go to get it. And right now you're in front of those items. So you see 2, a medium-sized box, a small-sized box, and a bag that's like laying on top of it. And it's essentially a duffel bag that's been like zipped up. But it has Juggernaut on it, and these are guys' items.
Well, this looks like it's for us.
So who grabs what?
Whatever's smaller, I'll go for.
Okay,
I
everybody
want the
roll me
big
a
one.
d20.
Roll a d20. Nine.
12.
Okay.
I rolled a 9.
Okay.
Waiting for
And
me?
Sam, what did
Yeah.
Uh,
I can't believe we're in Detroit.
a 6. Okay. As you all kind of grab for the different materials, Sam, you get the smallest box. It is not very heavy, but it is it's kind of like rectangular. And it is metal and it's like double plated, so you assume that this is the battery. And Raiko, as you grab the duffel bag. It's long and it's like an odd shape, but it's fabric and it's not very heavy either. It's probably about a couple of pounds. And you pick that up. And then
Beautiful.
Avery, you have the biggest package, which is the metal box, which is a little bit heavier, so it'll take you a bit to, really get your hands underneath it, so that you guys can get back to the beam. But other than that, you guys all have your materials. Raiko, as you kind of huff the bag over your shoulder, you do
Yes.
feel it wiggle a bit.
Do I detect thoughts from inside the bag?
Yes. Do you
Oh,
want to try to
yes.
ascertain?
Are these like active thoughts or?
Mm-hmm. You feel the little wiggle, and you sort of like just kind of put feelers out to kind of figure out like, is this essentially like, is this human? Is this animal? Like, does it have thoughts? And you immediately know it does.
Oh,
But then as you try to push to like figure out like, maybe so what are you trying to do? Are you trying to communicate, or are you simply trying to get into whatever its mind?
whatever I've heard done, what I usually do, which is just see what I can read from the person, what I can tell what they're thinking about.
Okay. You attempt to do that, as you have many times, and you hear nothing but static.
Is that normal? What usually do I get static?
Roll intelligence.
All right, let's find out. D6s or D20s?
2d6s.
All right. There's one, and then this. A 1 and a 2.
You have really no idea why that static happened. Usually, if someone like rebuffs you, they've rebuffed you. Like you can feel like a bounce back. This wasn't a bounce. This was almost like almost as if like as you're reading someone's mind, literally all you get is static, like as if it's changing channels constantly. You're not sure what that means.
I'll
But
stop for a moment. Go ahead, continue.
oh, what were you saying?
I'm just gonna stand there and look puzzled and let anyone else do what they want to do before I continue to do what I do.
Avery and Sam, you guys have your packages. You see Raiko grab his package. You guys start to walk out, and he just sort of stops.
What are you
Well, then I
stopping?
just,
Unless
Hold
it's
up.
I just stop. I just follow Raiko around everywhere. So if he stops, I stop.
Okay, what are you two stopping?
Raiko stopped.
Sissy, unless you two find a sucker that's willing to buy my wares, you really should get going.
Would you two be quiet for a moment? Just a moment, please. And I'll think to the static. Hello, is someone sleeping here?
You feel that goes through, but you get nothing in return except for a little bit more movement.
Okay, boys. I have a live one here. Don't know if one of you would like to do this, because I would rather not.
You want to carry the heavy box?
No.
Here, give it to me. I've only carried like I don't know a few of these of live cargo, but I know what I'm doing.
It's been wiggling a little bit. I don't like it. If it's like a child or something, I will be uncomfortable.
Well, someone better pay top dollar for it and have proper care. Is all I say.
Huh, hold on. What do you think it could be?
I don't know. I know it. Oh, around this corner of the galaxy, anything can be shipped in a box.
A
No,
gnome.
the bag, in the bag, the wiggling thing in the bag.
A gnome.
Box, bag. You know what I mean.
A
It's fine.
goblin.
But I mean, okay, let's be honest here. None of us have any love lost for the captain.
A gnome.
I'm just thinking, I want to go back and then Raiko back over just the data he has to pull anything else he can figure out about what's in the bag.
The data you got from the time you spent at Vera's computer is all you have. You know that this became a priority recently by someone of high power. You know that this was originally already assigned to another team, but you didn't get to delve into what happened there. And you also know, I'll say you also know that obviously this is live cargo, and obviously you are picking up things for this last stop. So when you look at your navigation, because you weren't given any information, but it was just put into the system, when you open up your navigation, it does show you your next stop, which is
What's the next? Sorry, go ahead.
it's the planet Oxnard, which is known for having one of the largest black markets in the solar system.
Typical. Yes, one of my most frequent places.
Gentlemen, I've had an idea. Now, of course, we're going to be taking this back to our next stop and selling it, of course. But wouldn't you guys like to see what it is? We might be able to get a little bit more.
I will say,
Now you're finally speaking my language, Raiko.
your mission is not to sell it. It's to
Is it
hand off. It's to hand off these items to someone else.
Look, gentlemen, I sense a scheme here, and if you know anything from me, a scheme is always a good thing.
Aye, Captain.
What kind of, seals are on the bag? Is there anything that will, definitely give it away that we've opened it?
So there are no seals on any of the items that you're carrying. The metal box that you assume holds the power cell, that doesn't have a top. You're noticing. Same thing with the big box. That doesn't have a top either. And the bag is clearly a duffel bag, but there's no zip. None of these things look like they are even openable, which probably means there's a specific way you're supposed to open them.
Well, this is a peculiar assignment.
What do we want to do?
Okay. I have tools that can open these things, but they're back in my secret stash on the ship. Yeah, so that's really not good.
I mean, we're going to a black market. You think you can get some tools?
Mhm. Yeah, they go on for pretty cheap over there.
Now, Captain can't know what we're thinking.
Yeah, this is why you should always listen to me when I said to just tamper with any trackings the captain placed on us.
We haven't done anything illicit yet. Don't worry about it.
You say that like if there's anything to worry about of doing anything illicit. I've been doing it with my whole career on this crew.
Yeah, it's a leaky tub, isn't it?
I'm gonna say you guys are having this conversation as you make your way back to the opening. So what's the plan? Oh, I'll
Follow
also
Michael.
say, as you guys are walking back to the entrance, Michael, the movement is like pretty still now, but suddenly as you get closer, you hear a very light cough.
Like a human cough or a animal cough?
I'm gonna have to say you're gonna have to make that determination based on what you hear. It sounds like a cough, and you know it's coming from the bag.
Oh, it's coughing now. Can I please hand this off to one of you? I really don't want to be holding this.
Give it to me.
Thank you. I'll take the battery.
Ugh.
As the bag shifts hands, you all three see a little wiggle. This bag is about half the size of like Sam and Raiko, so probably like 4 feet in length.
Oh. Ugh.
Gentlemen, I'm starting to get cold feet on this one. And that's saying something.
Just hurry it up whatever we're gonna do with this thing.
Then keep walking forward, and walk and talk, and decide whether we ditch it or sell it, or take a peek, but I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
I
know.
am on team just to pass it off, get money, go drinking.
I mean, yeah, I can already feel with the materials of this bag and the things shaking. This thing it feels like some pretty high tier loot. People.
Gentlemen, we're both saying all these wonderful things, but from what I was picking up, it was thinking too. And that concerns me.
Does it think anything in particular?
I think you kind of cut out there in your last thing. I didn't hear you.
Oh, yeah. All I said was that I think it's thinking too, and well, not a lot. It's there.
Not a lot, not a lot. That's the thing.
Yes, but the movement is
Thinking a
getting.
lot in order to have a real threat.
Well, I'll take a look inside again. I'll think into it again and see what I pick up, if anything.
Okay. I am going to say, instead of getting that buff, I think now it's understood what you're trying to do. So let me see what they have here. Mm-hmm. Do you have a metasonic power? I don't think you do. I can't remember.
I don't believe so. I know I have telepathy level 2, but as far as I know, that's it.
Okay. I think she. Okay. Go ahead and roll your wisdom, and then I'm gonna roll a wisdom. No. Well, wisdom against wisdom. Well, let's do your wisdom, and I'll do a constitution or mental.
Or is this the 2d6? 2d6 again?
Yes.
Okay. So 5 and 2. Oh no, wait. 5 and 1.
Lucky for you, this entity got a 2. So when you try again, instead of getting, so it immediately you get a little bit of static, but then it's almost as if the static is like always there, and then it gets quiet as you continue to prod, and you hear a small, weak voice say, "Yes."
Gentlemen, I think we should find some place quiet to talk. Perhaps let's move on to the next planet and then find somewhere out of the way.
All right. Let's move on to the next planet and make a deal.
You all get back to the pad. You simply just use your device to essentially, like, you click a button to let them know that you have the package and you're ready to move on to the next one. Navigation is automatic. It's going to send you to all the places you need to go until you're ready to go, and then you'll get another pickup just like you did when you finished your last mission. So you guys get on the pad and it sends you off to your next location, which is surprisingly Oxmid. So you all arrive at this planet that has a almost like an icy black like constant asphalt, but it's glossy as it's like pavement. So that's what's on the ground. And this is the surface of the planet. It's like molten lava, but has been pounded into looking like pavement in bricks. And so they built everything out of this substance. And it's as far as the eye can see. And also, everyone here, all of the people who are walking around, very different class of people. This is definitely more middle class, higher upper class. And you are also in a bit of a building where there is a couple of people sitting at chairs on either side of where you guys beamed in, and you of course have your items. And there's a young woman standing in front of the pad. She looks like she just walked up, realizing that someone was coming, and she has like a little uh, comm pad with her. She kind of just looks up at you guys. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Where are you headed to?
Actually, just looking for a place to put up our feet at the moment.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, no, we have plenty of accommodations here on Oxford. Welcome. And she basically gives you like a little digital pamphlet of all of the hotels that are close to this like docking station, essentially, for beam pads. You do have an address that you're supposed to go to, But you also now have this list of hotels.
Once the lady leaves, I will side-eye over to Avery. Avery, find us an alley.
I will find us an alley.
Okay. You guys leave the building with your wares. And as you walk outside, again, everything looks the same. It's not dark, but everything is kind of black. So it's not like, even though it's evening and there's lights, everything kind of still has a darkness to it because the ground is black, the buildings are made of black brick. So it's really easy to find a dark corner somewhere. However, a lot of these dark corners aren't empty. You are on the planet that has the largest, most prolific black market on in the solar system. So every like little nook and cranny and like little side street you look down, you can see people doing like a little deal. But as you guys navigate, give me just go ahead and roll. Well, you're not trying to evade, but we'll do an evasion. So do a d20, and let's just see how you make it through
From
the
all of
street.
us or from who?
I think Avery is leading, right? So they'll do the
Yeah.
they'll do the roll. To just try to find an empty, quiet back road.
No, honestly, Sam would probably just try to do like hand gestures and such, that just to sell some of the side wares he brought along and wasn't able to sell on the last stop. Like, he's been here for quite a while, given if
Okay. Let's see what you guys find for like a quiet place, and then as you go and you guys are looking for this quiet place, you'll find places that aren't very quiet, and so you can see if you find anyone who you might think might want to buy your wares.
I got a 10.
Okay. Are you looking for anyone in particular, Sam? I'll say that like these are all back of the woods dealings. These are small fry, so they're into trades, they're into buying to resell. So are you wanting to look for someone like that?
yeah, I'm looking for something that, or someone that was able to have various interest in those. Just in, what I have. Like, what I have is like some of the crystals from the first mission, some of the autograph stuff, and some antique tech.
Okay.
So I'm looking for someone that seems to have an eye for this sort of stuff.
Okay. As you guys are going through the different sections, go ahead and roll your charisma.
Which is what?
And we'll make the
What?
DC for like someone like this. We'll just make it a 6. If they're, interested in talking to you. It's a 2d6. Okay. So you do find someone as you guys are going through, but Avery and Ryko are kind of on a mission to find a quiet corner, so they leave you behind a little bit.
Wait, slow down. You're throwing future credits in the garbage.
I got money to be made, Sam.
But I was just doing a psyche to give us a little extra for all of us.
Pace off, Samuel.
Unfortunately, you guys aren't able to have this conversation as they walk ahead of you, but you are able to find someone who is interested in at least your autograph signed documents or the postcards you have.
Oh. Well, yes, I have these autographed wares.
Do you want to try to sell them to them for a certain price, or do you want them to try to haggle?
Try to sell them for a high price, though. Try to talk in a way to discourage haggling, subtly.
Yeah. This is an older gentleman. It's clear that he has been, here for a long time. He probably has a pretty good handle on what things are worth. However, I will say what you have is uncommon. Like, I don't think he'd be able to really compare it to something. It's a really old relic from a distant place that not many people go to. So he might look at it and be like, yeah, this looks good. How much you want for it?
Hmm. So how much does this sort of thing normally cost, Game Master?
Well, you can just roll a random number, or you can roll 2d6 and then times it by 100 and just ask for that many credits. Or you can ask for like the high end for this type of item. Did you bring just one, or did you bring like a stack?
Yeah, I brought a decent stack.
Okay, I would say like asking for 1,000 credits would be a lot here, but would be worth it based on like what you think. Like it'd be high, but you'd have to like be like, but it's worth it.
I mean, this thing, given how this deck has came right, straight for that, like right with the full blessing of the very star that signed it, right from the plane that makes the finest of its kind. Surely, clearly, it wouldn't be too much of an ask for 1,000 credits for the stash.
1,000. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a little bit out of my budget, but how about 900 for the stack?
Hmm. 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 I mean, the autographs on this where is on such an item is like a prestigious value worth a lifetime. Like, I mind if like 940?
All right. 940, it's a deal. And you guys switch hands. He gives you the credits, and you give him the item.
Yeah.
And he disappears into the alley again. And as you look around to get back to your friends, you find that they are gone, so you'll have to find them. Avery and Rico, you two find a quiet corner. It's another alley, but it's pretty empty. It's like a really long alley, so there's like two people all the way at the bottom, but they wouldn't be able to like hear you or see what you're doing. Like you can kind of see them, but it's clearly they're like a couple of blocks away in this alley.
Found an alleyway, boss.
All right, Ryko. Avery, thank you. Ryko will sink into the bag again. Hello, can you speak?
The voice responds to you and just says, yes.
Can you speak out loud?
And they say, no.
No. Do you have a name?
You kind of get an image after they say no of like an X. And you're not 100% sure what that means, but you know that they're trying to convey something to you via picture.
All right. Do you have a name?
She says, Wendy. Oh, wait, no. That's someone else. Her name is
Oh no.
CK.
CK.
Wendy
All
was
right.
a suspiciously normal name.
I don't know. I'd be feeling much worse if it was named Wendy.
Can I get a Frosty and some fries?
Okay.
All right. Avery,
Yes.
go find Sam. Tell him to get some lockpicks or whatever he's going to need to open the bag. I'd like to take a look inside.
It's just
So
a
the bag
bag.
is
Couldn't I use the knife?
Yeah, the bag is fabric. You can use heat to open it. However, if you do this, I will make a roll. I get a roll that I'll ask whoever does it to make to see if whatever the alarm that's triggered on it triggers, because obviously that's not the way to open it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I want to see if Sam can find some tools to get it open instead of just cutting into it.
Oh well, even if he tries to pick it up, in opening this bag without knowing how to properly open it will trigger some sort of thing that says it's been opened without the proper procedure.
A weird bag would have to be opened in such a weird way that even an experienced trader like myself doesn't know how to open it.
You could make a roll to try, but letting you know that's the roll you would make to see if it gets triggered. So you're taking a risk either way of opening it without knowing how to open it.
Gentlemen, we have a very odd situation here. I've had a conversation with what's in this bag. And I'm not getting bad vibes. I don't know if you know what I mean. Sam, can you get the bag open without triggering the alarms?
There seems to be some new bag. I haven't had much experience with it, but I'll see what I can do.
Right.
Well, are we trying it?
Chin up, people.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to take the risk. Huh?
Hey, think of it this way. If we try it, it might be worth selling so much more if we know.
Mm.
Okay. Sam, how are you going to try to open this bag? You can make an intelligence check first to see if there's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. DC is gonna be. Let's make the DC 4.
So what? A D20 or 2D6?
It's 2d6. You're gonna roll your intelligence.
What? Carlbot and Avery have a disagreement of what I rolled.
Was it two? You rolled two C's. Was it a 2-5 or what was it?
No, it's the first one is a 2 and a 5. So you, I'm gonna say, as you look at it, it's fabric, right? It has some sort of you don't know if it's called if you would call it magical, because they don't really have magic, but there's definitely some sort of psychic trigger that's been put on these items that if they are unlocked without the proper procedure, there will be it'll be shown. However, you do see that it's not automatic. It doesn't it's not connected to your comms. It's not going to go back to the captain right now. It's just going to show once you drop it off. If you drop it off with someone and they look at it, they're going to see you opened it, essentially, even if you try to close it. That's what you see. So you could you could open it, and you can just open it with a knife, or then you can try to see if you can mask that you opened it if you're going to drop it off.
All right. Right. I felt it. There was an area where we can cut it open without causing too much alarm, but don't come crying to me if you want to drop it off at the end of all this and you need to stitch this back together. Yeah.
Well, Raiko, what is plan?
We have a lot of money on the line, don't we?
This is the point of no return.
Avery, open the bag. Let's see what we're dealing with.
I'm gonna open the bag.
You use your thermal knife to cut into the bag, slit it all the way down to the bottom, and a filthy and quite skinny child, a young girl, sits up. She has kind of like long black hair that's a bit matted, and she's wearing essentially like a little like a two-piece jumpsuit, and she has her whole arms are wrapped with some sort of like binding, and on her lips you see there is like a tape that's in the shape of an X, so she can't speak. But she kind of sits up, sort of blinks her eyes from being inside of the bag for a while, and looks up at all three of you, sitting on the ground. And I think that is where we'll stop for the night. Thank you all for listening to the Aging Journey podcast. We hope you are enjoying the campaign. Don't forget, you can listen to our podcast on our podcast website, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Lists will be in the description below. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. You can support the podcast on Patreon or join our Discord. Enjoy the journey.